$178. That was the number. April electric bill, same house, same thermostat at 72. Same appliances, same schedule, same everything. Last April, same house, same thermostat, same appliances, $152. $26 difference. You did not install a hot tub. You did not start a Bitcoin mining operation in the garage. Nothing changed. The bill changed. That $26 has an origin. It has a path. It starts at about $100 a barrel, travels through a natural gas spot price you have never checked, passes through a line on your bill you have never read, and lands on your kitchen counter in an envelope you almost threw away. There is a pipeline between the Strait of Hormuz and your mailbox. You cannot see it. It is not made of steel. It is made of pricing mechanisms and regulatory filings and pass-through clauses. But it is real, and it delivered $26 to your door last month. 5 numbers, that is what this is. 5 numbers that connect a military conflict 8,000 miles away to the extra $26 on your electric bill. I traced each one. Number 1. Oil. West Texas Intermediate Crude. About $100 a barrel right now. 1 year ago, this same benchmark sat around $61. That is a 64% increase. The reason has a name: Strait of Hormuz. About a quarter of the world's seaborne oil trade transits, a corridor between Iran and Oman. On February 28, the United States and Israel began military operations against Iran. Iran retaliated by functionally closing the strait. Crude and oil product flows through the Strait of Hormuz plunged from around 20 million barrels per day before the war to just over 2 million barrels per day in March. Gulf countries have cut total oil production by more than 14 million barrels per day because storage is filling up and export routes are blocked. The International Energy Agency called it the largest supply disruption in the history of the global oil market. Not a big disruption, the largest ever. You felt it at the gas pump, $4.18 a gallon, national average. Up from $3.15 last year, that is a 33% increase. Hard to miss $4 at the Exxon on the corner. What you did not notice is what happened to your electric bill at the same time. Because the connection is not obvious. Here is the connection. Number 2. Natural gas. Henry Hub, that is the benchmark for us natural gas pricing. January 2026, the monthly average hit $7.72 per million BTU. For context, in 2024, the annual average was $2.19. 772 versus 219. Not a typo, 253% increase. Natural gas generates approximately 40% of U.S. electricity. When the price of the fuel that makes 40% of your power triples, your electric bill does not stay the same. It cannot. The math does not allow it. The pipeline runs from Hormuz to Henry Hub to your local power plant. To your meter to your bill, each segment adds cost. Each segment is invisible to you. By the time it arrives, it is just a number on page 2. $26 more than last year. You shrug, you pay it. But here is what the shrug costs you: 26 times 12, $312 a year. That is the annual cost of a conflict you did not vote on. In a strait you might not be able to find on a map. Transmitted through a pricing mechanism you did not know existed. Which brings me to number 3, the line on your bill you have never read. Fuel adjustment charge. Pull up your electric bill right now. Not the app summary, the actual PDF. The itemized breakdown. Scroll past the base rate, past the distribution charge, past the customer charge. Look for a line that says fuel adjustment, or fuel cost recovery, or fuel surcharge. Different utilities use different names. Same mechanism. This charge exists because your utility's base rate is set by your state's Public Utility Commission. That rate does not change every time natural gas prices move. The fuel adjustment charge is a separate pass-through mechanism that lets utilities recover fluctuating fuel costs in near real time without filing a full rate case. Translation: when natural gas triples in price, your utility does not need permission to pass that cost to you. The fuel adjustment clause already gave them permission. It is pre-authorized, like an autopay you set up and forgot about, except you never set it up, your state did. One utility in the Caribbean published its fuel clause adjustment for March at 35.8 cents per kilowatt-hour, a 23.6% increase from February alone. That is 1 month, one line item. You will not see that exact scale on most mainland U.S. bills. Fuel adjustment varies by utility, by state, by fuel mix. But the mechanism is the same. And right now, with natural gas at multi-year highs, that line item is moving fast on almost every bill in the country. Number 4. The year-over-year rate change. The Energy Information Administration published February 2026 data on April 23. Average U.S. residential electricity rate, 17.65 cents per kilowatt-hour. February 2025, 16.43 cents. 7.4% increase year over year. That number is a national average. Some states are worse. Colorado, 1679 versus 1508, 11.3%. Pennsylvania, 20.3 versus 18, 12.8%. By April, the national average residential rate reached 18.05 cents per kilowatt-hour, according to Electrochoice. That is up about 3% from April 2025. But the direction has been consistent since the war began in late February. Every monthly data release has shown higher rates than the same month last year. Not seasonality, not summer air conditioning, this is structural. It is a streaming subscription you did not sign up for. Except it auto-renews every month, and there is no cancel button, and the content is just your lights turning on. What is your state's number? Not the national average. Yours. That is worth checking. I should note, these are public figures from federal databases. What they mean for your specific household depends on your utility, your state, your rate plan, your usage, not personal guidance. But the direction is the same for nearly everyone. Which brings me to the last number. Number 5. This is the one that followed me. The average U.S. electric bill right now is estimated between $150 and $165 per month, depending on the source. The EA's April short-term energy outlook forecasts Henry Hub natural gas to average $3.67 per million BTU for full year 2026. But that is an annual average. The monthly spikes are worse. January was $7.72. And with the Strait of Hormuz still effectively closed as of late April, global gas markets remain under pressure. Energy industry projections based on current rate trajectories suggest the average monthly electric bill could push toward $180 to $200 by late 2026. If natural gas prices stay elevated through the summer cooling season. Now, multiply. A 43-year-old administrative assistant in suburban Columbus, Ohio, household income about $66,000, owns a 1,500-square-foot house built in 2003. Gas furnace, central air, electric water heater, current electric bill, month 78. Last year same month, $152. $26 increase, times 12, $312 a year. That is 0.47% of gross income. Sounds small. But this person is also paying $4.18 a gallon, 13,500 miles a year at 25 miles per gallon, 540 gallons at $4.18, $2,257 in gas. Last year at $3.15, $1,701. Difference, $556 more per year, just in gasoline. Plus, the $312 in electricity, $868. That landed in one household, one person, one W-2 income, in a Columbus suburb. Confirmed. That is the distance between the Strait of Hormuz and a checking account in Columbus. $868 of distance. Traveling through a pipeline made of spot prices and fuel adjustment clauses and regulatory pass-throughs, and every inch of it invisible until you do the math. The thing about the fuel adjustment charge is that it was designed to be invisible, not maliciously. The regulatory logic is sound. Utilities need a mechanism to recover volatile fuel costs without filing a new rate case every quarter. The alternative would be worse: constant rate hearings, regulatory lag, utilities eating costs they cannot absorb, potential service disruptions. But the result is a line on your bill that moves without announcement. It went up. You did not get a letter. You did not get a notification. It just appeared in the itemized breakdown of a bill that most people pay without reading. 40% of your electricity comes from a fuel whose price is tied to a global market, about a quarter of the world's seaborne oil trade, which sets the floor for energy pricing worldwide. Transited a narrow waterway that is now effectively blocked. Even after the April 8 ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran, shipping traffic through the strait remains far below pre-war levels. The U.S. imposed a naval blockade on Iran on April 13, after peace talks in Islamabad failed. The IEA projects tight global gas markets into 2027. This is not a spike. Every month for the next 12 to 24 months, the fuel adjustment line on your bill will reflect the price of natural gas, and the price of natural gas will reflect the state of a strait. 8,000 miles from here. I run the numbers for a living. These particular numbers are the kind that do not clean up. When you rebuild the spreadsheet, they stay ugly. Your thermostat is the same. Your appliances are the same. Your habits are the same. The cost structure underneath all of it shifted. And it shifted through a mechanism, the fuel adjustment charge, that was specifically designed to shift without you noticing. You have been looking at your electric bill the way you look at a receipt at Walgreens: total at the bottom, card in, done. But the itemized breakdown is where the information lives. The fuel adjustment line is where the war is. The EA updates electricity pricing data monthly. Your utility's fuel adjustment filings are public record, available through your state's Public Utility Commission website. The rate schedules, the pass-through formulas, the fuel cost projections, all there. If you have run your own numbers on this, or you just looked at your fuel adjustment line for the first time, I want to know what you found, state and the dollar amount. That is data I can use. Every month you have been paying a line item you have never looked at, and every month since February, that line item has been carrying the cost of a conflict in a strait most Americans cannot locate on a map, priced through a natural gas benchmark most Americans have never heard of, authorized through a regulatory mechanism most Americans do not know exists. There is a base rate case coming for most of these utilities. That is the next set of numbers, different math, different mechanism, same direction. The pipeline is real. It just does not look like a pipeline. It looks like page 2 of your electric bill. Third line from the bottom. $26. $312 a year. That number is correct. I checked.